Live on air, we're live. Hey everybody, welcome to a very special live in-person, in-audience, where this is happening right here. We're doing a one-day intensive in Holland, Michigan, and this is a special live Shawn Miller Show with a special guest coming all the way from Mexico. So we are global here. We are doing some really fun. We got an amazing group of entrepreneurs. We're having a lot of fun. We're talking about creation of a position of personal and business branding today, where we moved from a generalist or normal business into an expert status, into an authority status, and then we talked about how we become a celebrity, how we use the media, and how we get involved in multimedia events like this, and we're creating the ultimate holy grail of personal and business branding. And we're really, so far, we're having a lot of fun, and we're got just an amazing blessing. We have a guest who is one of the top business minds in the world. We have Terri Levine. Terri Levine is joining us. She's wintering in Mexico because that's the kind of cool stuff that she gets to do because of her success. And she has just a huge business success story. She's been in business more than 30 years. She has a doctorate. She's got multiple books, a very popular business radio show, and she's known as a real expert in working with businesses to grow that business and to create new revenue streams in that business. And she works, I know, some really high-end masterminds and does some really, really cool stuff. So you can Google terrilevine.com if you want to while we're coming. And otherwise, let me introduce Terri and say hi, and she can say hi, and I'll run around behind so I'm not standing in front of everybody. Come back. Hey, Terri.
Hey, everybody. Good to be with you, and thanks for having me, Shawn.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad that you can be here and share some really special expertise. And you just launched not that long ago this rapid ROI marketing, and I know it's growing like crazy. And can you tell us, what is that, and how is that addressing the big business the big challenge of businesses today?
Great question. Well, I really started to notice about 10, 12 years ago that business owners were focusing only on one thing, and that is they were constantly chasing after new business, and I thought that's really not what I've done. I've owned about 6 very successful businesses, sold them all, but it was never by chasing after new business. And so I sat down and I dissected my process, and then I thought, let me start sharing that process. And the process really is about not always focusing on new business. A lot of times people have hidden assets, and just think about this for a minute. If you've been in business, let's say for a while, you have current customers, current patients, current clients. You have people who you can recall or reactivate, people who you can get more products and services to, people who you can be like McDonald's, do you want fries with that? Do you want to supersize it? So there's a lot of things that you can do with your current customer base that you're not doing. I call those hidden marketing assets that can rapidly, and I mean rapidly, increase a business. I mean 200%, 600%. So let's stop chasing. And then the second part, and I won't keep going on about it, but the second part is I discovered a proprietary method of using Facebook in my own business without using ads, because I don't like to spend money, Shawn, and instantly got 30 new clients in 30 days, and I've continued to be able to do that and teach that to people, and it's a very simple method, but nobody's doing it, and it beats Facebook's algorithm, and so I've added that to the rapid ROI model too.
Cool. Well, it's funny that you say that, because here in Holland, people just spend lavishly. They don't worry about expenses whatsoever. Whatever, give me the best at everything. They don't care. So. And we talked about this morning. One of the things is especially unique around here. Nobody ever wants a discount or a deal. They're just like, hey, whatever, man. Whatever the price is. So, yeah, that's cool. It's really profound what you said, because I know in our business, even probably guilty of not paying enough attention to our existing clients and leveraging those existing clients or existing database, or maybe clients that have gone a little bit inactive,
Yes.
And I know that I and probably all the viewers are actually sitting on some gold. Would you share with us a little bit, maybe some tactics of how we monetize some of the
Yeah. So I'll give you two examples. I'll give you one in my own business, and I'll give you one in a client's. So in my own business, I've been in the coaching industry, consulting, mentoring for this is about my 20th year. So I always have to start with my business first before I can, say it's going to work with somebody. So I went back to my own database, and I wrote a very heartfelt letter, not a marketing-based letter, but a really personal connection letter. And I said, I realize that you haven't used our products or bought any of our services for a while. And the only thing I can think of is that maybe we did something wrong. Maybe there was something inappropriate in the relationship or it ended badly. And I would like to offer you a personal opportunity to please speak with me. Because if there's something that we did that wasn't right, I'd like to make it right. So I'm going to give you my private cell phone number, and I'm going to ask you to just call me. And my database at the time was about 150,000, and people said, oh my God, you're crazy. You're going to get like 50,000 phone calls. Well, I didn't. However, I got 26 very significant calls. 9 of them were, I've been thinking about you, and I really wanted to rehire you. 4 of the calls were, I actually was in XYZ program and I didn't complete it. A couple of the calls were, yes, something wasn't quite right, and we fixed those not quite rights. So we reignited, and within a month we looked just at that experience, and that had brought about $315,000 from one letter. I'm going to go to a client story, okay, because that was pretty good for us.
Sounds like ROI to me, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, rapid ROI, right? So this is a dentist, and I love this. This guy was so skeptical. He said, you don't understand. My patients, they're not going to be recalled or reactivated. Companies have tried this. And I said, listen, if it doesn't work, I will actually give you all of your money back. I'll give you your money back. He goes, okay, you're on. And he was like, really sure it wasn't going to work. So I wrote, again, to his patients, a heartfelt letter on his behalf after I spent 2 hours really getting to know him. And I wrote the letter, and I didn't have them call him because he's like a real tough guy. I had them call me. I took the phone calls, and there were a lot of complaints. There were a lot of issues and a lot of problems. And I had his permission to correct those problems. And I did correct the problems by offering additional products and services, making things right. And he said, this is just going to cost me a lot of expense. Well, what happened is people came back to the office. They did get a free something that he was not happy about that I was paying for. After they came back, they scheduled a follow-up appointment. In many cases, they needed some type of a treatment, but now they had rebuilt trust and rapport with him. And within 90 days, he had an increase of revenue that was somewhere near $37,000 from those people. However, at the end of a year, he did over $1.3 million from some of the strategies that we used in Rapid ROI. So now he's one of my biggest fans.
I'm sure. Yeah, there's 2 things I want to point out about that. Based on what, and you have been privy to all of our conversation, where you know a lot about what we do, right, and what we've probably been talking about. And 2 things that really stand out. One, you were excited when you told us about your story, but your energy and the emotion and the enthusiasm in your eyes and your face when you talked about the success of your client demonstrates for me that you're working in an area of passion and an area that you're genuinely excited about. And this is the problems that you're solving for that dentist and your other clients is something that you really want to solve and you're excited and happy about, and that fuels you. And sure that fuels your sales momentum and keeps you trucking and going, right? And I know that energy is conveyed in a power and positive way when you talk to them as a prospect or a client. I wanted to point that out to our audience and to those that are here in the room, because we've been talking about the power of you and the power of your authentic connection to people, and then the power of having clearly a problem that you must solve, right, and to be working on that. And CJ Ortiz was our guest earlier, and he said, what pisses you off?
I love that.
What are you doing about it? This pisses you off. What do you need to fix, right?
Right.
But we talked about, the interesting thing about what you said is you talked about you wrote a personal letter, right, and a very personal form of communication and a very personalized message. So what you're demonstrating is not something that was slick. It was not something that was contrived, other than a real human connection to another real human. And the results of that is real dollars, right?
Yes.
And that's really, really good. And I think that point out is that you were then able to make a huge impact for that client in your area of passion. And that's the whole point. And that's really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I truly do get my wows from my client's success. You know, my success is fun, but my client's success is what really jazzes me.
Awesome. This is a little bit of a funny question, but I'm curious. How do you celebrate that success?
You broke up a little. How do I celebrate?
Well, how do you celebrate that success with that client? What did you have a party together? How do you celebrate?
Oh, I love that question. So we did a couple. I said to my client, "What do you like to drink? Anything? Do you drink alcohol or whatever?" And my client said, "Oh my gosh, yes, I love champagne." So I had my assistant send some champagne to the client, but it said, "You cannot open this until our Skype call." And so on our Skype call, I had my glass with nothing in it, and I said to my client, "Now go get your bottle of champagne. And are any of your office staff here?" And he said, "No, I'm doing the call from home." And so I said, is your wife there, or is your partner there? He said, "Oh, my wife is here." I said, "Does she drink champagne?" He said, "She loves it." I said, "Great, get her." I had my glass, and I said, "Okay, let's go." We had a toast. I had music playing, and we were just laughing and having a great time together. So I always send the client some kind of a gift. We get on the phone or get on a call, but I try and see them visually, and we do something celebratory. And then I'm famous for doing something called a happy dance, which I am not going to do right now. But I do this sort of crazy happy dance, and it makes my clients laugh, and I teach them the happy dance at my events. So they all get up and we do the happy dance together. So we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. I just think that's a part of life.
That's great. That's great. I'm glad we tagged into that. And that's, business is work, right? It is work, and it's hard work, and achieving a seven-figure return, that's work. And I'm sure dealing with those upset clients was work, and and working that all out, it's work. But it's fun, right? And it's fun to be successful, and it's fun to achieve results, and it's important to celebrate. And we teach what we need, and I'm learning that because I can really drive into that. There's a real common thing, online I see all the time in the entrepreneurial space is rise and grind, right? Rise and grind. That's a real common thing that people say. And sometimes like, yeah, okay, but this doesn't have to suck. This can be fun, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if you know this, Shawn. My very first book, this is going back maybe 2000. It is called Work Yourself Happy, because I saw too many people working themselves to death, and I'm like, work is a part of your life. Make it fun. If it's not fun, do something that is fun.
That's good. That's good. And that's important advice for all of us that are trying to grow a business, right?
Right.
We've been talking about being authentic to ourselves and being authentic to our purpose and crafting a real story that really connects with people in a powerful way. And that whole point should be to be doing something that we're really excited about, and that should be fun. And
absolutely.
Things that like sales, shouldn't be difficult at that point, right? That should be what we're genuinely excited to be talking about and sharing and doing, right? Do you find in your business that genuine passion?
I think sales is actually the easiest thing to do. Some people think the word sell is the four-letter word. I think the word sell is a beautiful word because if you have something, which I assume you all do and that the listeners do, that's something of really great value. You just can't wait to get out there to people because you want to share it. It's so exciting, right? It's just easy to share with people, and that you don't take it personally if it's not for them. So this is how I think of it. I'm not a great cook, but I really do make great lasagna. So if any of you come to, not Mexico, but Philadelphia, where I live part of the year, because I don't do a lot of cooking here, I will make you really great lasagna. And if I offer it to you and you say no thank you, I don't take that personally. Maybe you don't like Italian food, maybe you're full, maybe you don't eat gluten, it's fine. But however, I will tell you, it's really good. I buy special ricotta cheese, I make my own tomato sauce. I'll tell you about it. However, if you say, it's not for me, I don't like it, I don't resonate with it, not personal. It's okay with me, it's all cool, and we can still be great friends. So that's how I look at selling, which is why I also wrote the book Sell Without Selling, because I love to buy. I love to buy, but I hate to be sold. And I believe that's how we as entrepreneurs can really assist people and really serve people, is be passionate about what we have and really listen to what our potential buyers' needs are.
Nice. That's good. I appreciate that. That's I want to shift gears a little bit because you kind of dropped a bomb earlier in the call. You said that you had a magic way to generate leads on Facebook, and I want to make sure that before we run out of time, we were talking about connecting the community as the topic, and of course we already talked about how we can leverage our existing client assets and even inactive customers and those kinds of things. But can you talk about how you're building community on Facebook and how you're connecting with people there?
Yes, and of course I won't give away the whole proprietary system, but what I will tell you is Facebook, if used correctly, is the same thing as everything else, which is personal relationships. It is not about marketing messages. And the right people will respond to you if you are making heart-to-heart, valuable information, content connections with people. And I will ask you and request of you to share your most valuable content on Facebook, not to make offerings, not to make pitches, not to sell to people, but to truly communicate great value to people and to give them your best content, and then to look for more people that would be interested in that content, and to just share and share and share that content with groups and with like-minded people. And let me tell you that when they see that you are different than everybody else, you will have built an audience that will buy from you right on Facebook. I promise you.
Terri, can you talk about, I know a lot of people don't really even know what groups are, or they're not really involved in it. Can you talk about what a group is and how you might find one that would be people that are interested in what you do?
I missed your very first part. I'm sorry.
I don't think a lot of people know about groups, and they're not really involved in it. Can you talk about what that is and how you find some that are relevant to you?
Yes, I'm really glad you asked that. So it's really important that you do join groups on Facebook, and I also am going to recommend you start at least 2 groups. So this is going to sound a little funky. First of all, you look for groups that are like-minded. So let me use a client that, let's say, is a chiropractor. So the chiropractor doesn't want to join groups with more chiropractors, right? They want people who are patients. So potential patients, let's just say that they live in Hollywood. They would look for people who live within a radius around them that might just be community members or that might join a theater club in their area. And I would recommend they join a lot of those groups and just connect to those groups and add valuable content to those groups. The second kind of groups to join are people who perhaps have been in car accidents and are looking for information. The third type of group that they join, and this is where it's going to sound odd to you, are groups that have nothing to do, and I mean nothing to do with chiropractic. So you're going to go, well, that sounds really, really odd. Why would they do that? Just join groups in their area that have nothing to do with chiropractic because they will begin to get to know people in their community and community will get to know them. And then the reason you start 2 of your own groups is because your banner and your header is at the top. And when you start a group, the person at the top becomes the credible expert, or to use Shawn's word that I love, the celebrity. And the celebrity becomes elevated. So even though you have members in the group, and you will have thousands or hundreds of thousands of members pretty soon in a group, they look up to you. And all of those people, by the way, become people that become your list. And that's very important. Start 2 of your own groups that are under your own brand.
Nice, nice. I think, is there one of your groups, Terri, that you might recommend that people would investigate so they can see kind of how you do that?
Yes. One of the groups is I Love Coaching, and the other group is Sales and Marketing, or Business and Marketing. So if you go to my page at Facebook, the easiest thing to do is from my page, you'll see my groups. It's facebook.com/business mentoring expert. Business mentoring expert, and then you'll be able to connect with me, and then you'll see all of the groups. And then also you can follow, this will be a big help to you, follow the kinds of posts that I do. That's going to teach you a lot all by itself.
Excellent. Yes, absolutely. Modeling. I'm reminded, this is a little bit of a tangent, I'm reminded there's a Facebook group that I'm a member of that's in our little hometown, and it's called You Might Be From Holland If, and it's all kinds of odd, people share all kinds of stories about how things used to be, or did you ever go to this place back in the day, or they'll find an old picture of something that remember when this was here and now it's not there anymore, and that kind of thing. And it's a lot of jokes and fun, and it's a way that you're connecting with people on Facebook that I don't know, right? Well, I mean, most of them I don't know, but we have this mutual connection, and we connect in a genuine way that's fun, and it's much like throwing a little party online.
Exactly.
Right? Who doesn't like to go to a little party and meet some interesting people that are kind of interested in the same thing as you are? And I think that's a lot like what a group should be, right? It's a group of people that are tied together by some way. They're interested in the same thing, or they live in the same place, or they went to the school, or whatever, and they create a place to connect and just have a little light party. And I use that word party on purpose, because if I meet you at a party, I say, "Hi Terri, I'm Shawn," and then I handed you an agreement to do business with me, that wouldn't be very appropriate, right?
Right.
Or I started handing you offers for coupons to come to my fitness gym, right? That's probably not the way to handle that. Or, if I start, if I posted every hour some path to my whatever, right? And that's what a lot of people do, is they go into that what should be a party atmosphere, and they're just effectively that. If they were at an actual party, they would identify themselves as a big jerk.
That's true. That's true.
But they go into that space, and frankly, they act like jerks. And so it's really important that to follow what the type of community that Terri is building, and see how she's engaging and how they're creating just a genuine, party atmosphere, community, and connections among those people. And you said yourself that begets actual specific business for you, right?
It does. It does.
Can you describe a little bit how does that happen? What's the path to an actual business connection?
Yes. And first, I just want to piggyback. You used a word that I love, and you used it twice, genuine. And that's really, you need to be authentic and genuine. So what we'll do in our posts, and you can watch this at the Business Mentoring Expert Facebook page, but what we'll do is sometimes at the end of the post, we might send you to our blog post to see more. So it might end with, it will give you a tip, or we'll give you a tool, and at the end it might say, more at, and we'll give you the blog post, so that if you're really interested in that topic, you can read not an ad, but a really informative blog post. None of my blogs are advertisements. They're true information. They're education. They're informative. Or we might send you to a free report, or a free gift, or a free tool. Or I give away things all the time. In fact, I'm giving away a free vacation to somebody who wants to be in my villa next year. It's a 5,000 square foot villa on the beach in Mexico, private pool. Once a year I give it away. And there's nothing to do. You just enter a contest and somebody's drawn. So we're just saying, enter the contest if you're interested. So we do all kinds of fun things. We just engage people and we have fun. So we're never doing anything to sell. We may lead people to a lead magnet, or some freebie or giveaway, but we are not leading people to go buy this. Go take this action. We're selling you something. It's very clean. It is very much continuing to be a credible expert and an authority and a giver, and that's where we come from.
That's cool. I use a simple analogy just to compare. Again, like I talk about going to a party and acting like a jerk, and the simple analogy that I use to that then is, if I go to a party and I don't act like a jerk, and I meet somebody that I kind of like, then I might invite them over to my house for a barbecue on Sunday, maybe something like that, because I really like this guy, and I think we might like to hang out. Now, that's kind of the equivalent of bringing them to your blog, and you're taking them out of Facebook and you're bringing them to your home online, your own website, your blog. But if they walked into my home on Sunday and I had the whole table set up with my network marketing product, and the whole thing was a scam, right? And they were walking into not a barbecue but a pitch, then again I'm a jerk, right?
Right.
And people do that all the time online. They're being social jerks, and I don't know any better way to say that.
It's true.
And if you do that properly, you really can connect with people who are really interested in what you're interested in.
Yes. And just remember that, like, I always think to myself, all I want to do is welcome people and let them get to know me authentically and try me on. Just know, like, and trust. Know, like, and you've all heard those words before. It doesn't change on social media. Be the same on social media. Think about what Shawn said, because I think the words are valuable. When I go to an event, any event, I don't go in and start shoving papers or business cards at people. I go to a human connection and to be a giver. Do the same on social media.
Absolutely. I think your jobs on social media are pretty simple at that level. It's just to be funny, to be helpful, right? I mean, you know, it's just little simple stuff to connect with people and make a relationship. Terri, I can't believe this, but my clock says we're already out of the time.
Oh my gosh, this was wonderful. I have so much more to share. We'll have to do this again. I appreciate being here.
Well, I want to know, mostly I want to know, how do I win that villa in Mexico?
I saw a few of you get ready to write. All right. So go over to my Facebook page. So it's facebook.com/business mentoring expert. And you're going to see really quickly right at the top, across the very top, it's going to say win contest or free vacation or one of those. You just enter. It's that simple. And all of the names that come in, randomly, we do a drawing, and somebody wins. It's random, and it's every single year, but it's going on now, right now, so all of you have the opportunity. Do it.
I'm in. I'm coming to Mexico. The other thing, you know, we didn't have, like, see, we're out of time. We talked about this rapid ROI marketing. Is there something that you'd like them to go look at if they want to learn more about that?
So yes, and Shawn, you know, I've adored you ever since day one when we met, and I thought you were just the cool guy in the room because you were the guy that was the relationship guy. So you were the guy that I connected with because of that, and the authentic guy. So I'm doing something for Rapid ROI, and it's for Shawn Miller people only. So it's at terrilevine.com, that's TerriLevine.com/blast, B-L-A-S-T, your results. Blast your results. And that is my rapid ROI coaching. Never done before. Shawn Miller folks only. Half price. Half price, Shawn.
Right. All right, well, that's good, because as we said, we always want a deal in Holland, Michigan. So established that this morning, so that's cool. So, well, Terri, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you, and we're so grateful that you could join us. And we wish we were there. It's actually above freezing here, so we're hanging all right. We're
Yay! Good. Well, sending you all sunshine. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and you're also lucky to be with Shawn. And those of you who are experiencing this, phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you, Terri. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everybody.
My pleasure.
That's it for this Shawn Miller Show. We are signing off, and we'll see you really soon. Thank you, Terri.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.